Hey everyone, happy Sunday. As we celebrate this Memorial Day, let us pay tribute and honor to those who have given their life for all of us, for our freedoms, for our beautiful country. Thank you, and I'm wishing you all a very happy Memorial Day. Hopefully you're celebrating in whatever way you do so, whether it's prayer for those who have gone or their families and spending time with your loved ones. So continuing on for this week's top 5 cigars, these are the cigars coming out of my humidor, hopefully making their way into your week of smoking. So I've been kind of going through my humidor now for a few weeks and pulling out different cigars. I haven't gone out and purchased a lot of different cigars in recent times, just kind of taking this opportunity of being home to just kind of go through and really just see what's in there. Sometimes I have a huge humidor, so sometimes I lose count of like what cigars are in there or I forget. So it's kind of been fun to just go through and pull out different cigars. I do have a couple that are new that I have been, sent out as samples to me. So I'll be going through those. I've been smoking some of those, but then combining them with some of the cigars that, again, as I mentioned, or just kind of in the humidor and tucked away maybe towards the back. So pulling out some different ones. So here we go. So starting with number 5, we have the beautiful Aged Limited and Rare by Rocky Patel. This is a really pretty cigar as far as the overall appearance of it. I remember at the trade show, he had a beautiful display, as he normally does with all his different cigars. He always launches, quite a few, usually every year. So it's always interesting to see what Rocky's doing. This particular one is a second edition of the Aged Limited and Rare. So this is the second edition of the Aged Limited and Rare by Rocky Patel. This one looks very different than the first one as far as the coloring on the band. This one is, it says in 2016, Rocky blended a cigar featuring a San Andres wrapper. Deciding that this blend would develop even further with age, he ordered a short production run of 120,000 cigars. The cigars were laid to rest in an aging room, locked away for 2 years. Now these rare cigars are complete, medium-bodied and full-flavored, aged for 2 years. This one actually has been aged for a little bit longer than that because I've had it in my humidor for a little while. It's a nice box press, again, featuring a Mexican San Andres wrapper, as mentioned, Nicaraguan binder and filler. Yeah, so this one's gonna give you nice notes of raisin, earth. You get a little bit of kind of a toasted wood, espresso, graham cracker, cocoa, all those really nice, beautiful flavor profile notes. Moving on to number 4 this week, we have the Aging Room. This time the Aging Room Quattro, Connecticut. So this one is the vibrato size. And again, this one's kind of been tucked away in the humidor as well. Aging Room has a full extensive line of different cigars done by Rafael Nodal. And I love the musical theme that he adds. Kind of, some of them are more obvious, some of them are kind of snuck in there. And then of course this one with the quattro, the vibrato, it's kind of a little more obvious with the musical reference, but he's a big music guy. One of my favorite cigars that he did was La Boheme, which sadly I'm out of, so I do need to refill that. The La Boheme cigar was, again, one of my favorites from that, from Rafael Nodal. But this Aging Room Connecticut is nice for kind of earlier in the day, mid-morning with your cup of coffee, of course. This one has a nice Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper, Dominican binder and filler. Notes of roasted cashew nut, a little bit of sweet cream in there. Semi-earthy, it's subtle, but again, not super strong. But again, a nice flavor profile on this beautiful cigar. And moving on to number 3. This is a newer offering from Hoyo de Monterrey. This is the Epicure Selección number 1. And this one is featuring a Cuban seed wrapper, binder, and filler. So not a lot of detail on the actual blend for this particular stick. Sometimes that is the case when you get different people that are blending. They don't necessarily disclose everything all at once about the particulars of the cigar. And again, I've said this many times, for those of you who aren't super cigar nerds, not a big deal. You just kind of care, how does it smoke? And myself being on the other extreme of that, being a super cigar nerd, I like to know all the details. So I like when there's a lot of information about it. But nonetheless, it's a nice cigar featuring kind of a peppery and earthy, somewhat complex. It's right around like a medium, not quite full body. But again, you're going to get a lot of the peppery nuances, some of that complexity, a little bit of earth. You get a hint of the cocoa, not real strong, more so on the spice, and then that earthiness kind of combined for that one. So a good stick for probably later in the day. Moving on to what are we at? Number 2. Number 2, we have the Drew Estate Sun-Grown, beautiful Ecuadorian Sumatra seed sun-grown wrapper. You have the Connecticut River Valley stock cut cured sun-grown Habano for a binder and Nicaraguan filler. So you get a nice subtle pepper, cinnamon, nutmeg. It's earthy. You get a nice little milk chocolate, woodsiness, a lot of different complex flavors on that one. Again, coming out of beautiful Esteli in Nicaragua. Love Drew Estate's factory. Love the sticks that come out of there. Huge fan of a lot of them. So definitely pick one of those, or maybe even 5 for your humidor. And number 1 this week is the newer release from Falto La Pureza, celebrating his 25th anniversary as a super premium boutique cigar maker. He's one of those people that makes cigars for himself, in the sense that it's a true passion of his. He's a good friend, Luis Falto. Beautiful, beautiful person inside and out, and just makes some wonderful cigars. So this one, of course, I was really excited about because it's in a Lancero. Again, La Pureza, just a beautiful offering from Luis Falto, made at the La Aurora factory in the Dominican Republic. So this one's featuring an Ecuadorian Habano wrapper, Dominican Criollo 98 on the binder, and then Dominican filler. Gives you some notes, kind of like that in and out of the black peppers throughout the entire smoke. You get a nice earthiness to it. There's some subtle cocoa nuances, more so on the woodsy cedar side of things, but just a nice offering, and again in a beautiful Lancero. For those of you who are not as keen on the Lanceros, again, always a challenge that I throw out there to you. Although I do know that there's been quite a few of you who have tried the Lanceros and are starting to like them a lot, so yay. Anyways, I hope you guys have a fabulous weekend and enjoy your holiday and stay safe. Cheers. God bless.